Hi guys, today I wanted to share with you how I got my job at a Big Four advisory firm in the fall of 2010, right after the Great Recession. I was formerly a senior manager at a Big Four advisory firm where I'd been for 10 years. I started as an associate out of undergrad. Graduated in the fall of 2010, a semester later than I should have because I took a semester off due to the Great Recession. I graduated with a Bachelor of Business Administration, concentrating in finance and accounting, and I had internships prior to my senior year, but going into my last semester at school, I did not have an offer in hand. So I started recruiting for a full-time position in the fall of 2010. And just to set the context a little bit, the economic situation then was probably similar to the economic situation today. There were a lot of companies that were still in the midst of layoffs and hiring freezes. I had a lot of friends who had graduated in the prior years that started their jobs and not even 6 months or a year into their first job were laid off. Or I also had friends who had offers from their internship, but then had those offers rescinded. And I also had friends who graduated with no job. The school that I went to had a great undergraduate business school program, so there were a lot of companies that recruited from there even during that time. And I remember I applied to every position that was posted on our school's career site, and I went to every informational session that was hosted by the various companies that were recruiting. I would get the interviews, but then either I would get to the final round and not get an offer, or I wouldn't make it past the first round. So the first few months of fall semester, I remember just being really nervous because I'm the first child of four, and my parents had a small business, and it wasn't doing well financially at the time, and I knew that I knew I had to get a job. It wasn't in the cards for me to continue on to grad school. I had to get a job out of school. And thankfully, right around that time, one of my best friends from school, she had started working at the Big Four firm a few months prior in the summer of 2010, and told me that the team was hiring for an associate. And due to a glitch in the system, the job hadn't been posted on the career site. So she had me email her my resume. Thankfully, I got selected for the first round of interviews, which was with a director in our team. And I remember walking out of that interview a little unsure whether or how the interview had gone, because it was very different from other interviews that I had done up until that point. Instead of an interview, it just felt like a conversation where the director was trying to get to know me as a person beyond just a job applicant. So it was just different. So I wasn't sure. I got selected for the second round of interviews, which were in the office. And I interviewed with our partner and two other directors. One director gave me a case interview, and the other asked me more behavioral questions. And now the firm has a more standardized case interview that they give to all candidates. But at the time when I was recruiting, the case interview was more modeled after my director's case that he worked on early on in his career. And then after the interviews, I went to lunch with the other members of the team, so other associates and senior associates that I would be working with. It was right before Thanksgiving break that I got the call from the partner that I had an offer to join the team in the summer of 2011. And the rest is history. I started in June of 2011, and I was part of that same team until 2021. And I couldn't have been luckier to have joined such a great team of people who had a heavy hand in shaping my career and my development. I was also very lucky to have worked with my best friend for 5 of those years. And since she started a year before me, I felt like I had the inside scoop and a automatic work bestie that I could go to with any of my concerns or worries. I'm really looking forward to sharing my stories with you. In future videos, I hope to share some tips that I've picked up over the 12 years in consulting. And if you have any topics that you're interested in or questions, please feel free to share in the comments below. And if you liked this video, I hope you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.